What if I told you that earning $80,000 a year today puts you closer to poverty than to the middle class? Not because you're bad with money, not because you don't budget, but because the system used to measure poverty is frozen in the 1960s. For decades, the government has defined poverty using a formula created for a very different world. A world where one income could support a family. Housing was affordable. Healthcare was covered by employers. And childcare barely existed as a cost. That formula still exists today. According to it, poverty ends at around $31,000 a year. But reality tells a very different story. In the 1960s, economists assumed food was the largest household expense. So they calculated the minimum cost of food for a family and multiplied it by 3. Back then, food made up about one-third of a household's budget. That logic made sense. Today, food is only 5 to 7% of most household spending. Housing, healthcare, childcare, insurance, transportation, and taxes now dominate modern life. Yet the formula never changed. Only inflation was added. And that creates the illusion that poverty barely grew. But if we apply the same original logic using today's spending, the poverty line doesn't land at $31,000. It lands closer to $120,000 or even $140,000 a year for a family of 4. Not for luxury, not for vacations, not for comfort, just to stay afloat. Think about the modern reality: rent or a mortgage, basic health care, child care if both parents work, transportation, food, taxes. When you add these unavoidable costs together using national averages, a family needs roughly $118,000 after taxes, which translates to around $135,000 to $140,000 before taxes. Meanwhile, the median household income in the United States is about $80,000 a year, with 2 earners. That gap explains why so many people feel stuck, even while working full-time. On paper, the economy looks strong. Unemployment is low. GDP is growing. Inflation is cooling. But none of those numbers measure whether a family can actually afford life. Lower inflation doesn't make housing cheaper. It doesn't erase years of rising costs. It just means prices are increasing more slowly. And full employment doesn't mean financial security. It simply means people are working, often multiple jobs, and still struggling. This is how the macroeconomy can look healthy, while everyday life feels unaffordable. Now, this does not mean you need $140,000 to live a good life. And it does not mean everyone earning less is poor. The point is simpler. The measurement is outdated. And when the measurements are wrong, people start blaming themselves for a system that no longer reflects reality. There are things you cannot control: housing prices, healthcare costs, government formulas. But there are things you can control: your savings rate, your investing consistency, your time in the market, your ownership of assets. Wealth does not come from income alone. It comes from time and compounding. A household earning $60,000 a year, investing consistently for decades, can outperform a household earning $150,000 that never invests. The poverty line measures survival. Investing measures possibility. Life is more expensive than it used to be. That part is real. But your financial future is not decided by outdated formulas. It is decided by your habits. Build the right ones, and time will do the rest.